Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of our podcast series dedicated to careers in Luxembourg. The idea is simple. In each episode, we take a very concrete look at a profession, exploring its day-to-day reality, its challenges, and its reward. Today's podcast is dedicated to the profession of architect, as I have the pleasure of welcoming Patricia Delcourt, Senior Director at a.s.b.l, leading the workplace consulting and design team, and Sala Makumbundu, Architects and Managing Partner at a.s.b.l Architect. Thank you both very much for being with us today.
It's a pleasure.
To begin with, I would like to invite you to introduce yourself to our auditors, maybe starting with you, Sala, please.
Thank you, Gerwin. Yeah, as you said, I'm an architect. I started my career in Luxembourg as a freelance architect already at a.s.b.l, and I made all my career in this same agency, getting partner in 2003 and managing partner in 2017. And I'm still working with the same pleasure as in the beginning.
Thank you. And Patricia, if you can also introduce yourself.
Thank you very much for having us today. Before stepping in the role of Head of Workplace Consulting and Design, I act as interior architect for many years and project manager. So I would like to add that actually with more than 30 years now of experience, I really have the same pleasure, passion, and a curiosity related to the real estate and workplace design.
Thank you very much both for being here today. We're very glad to have you. And I'd like to start this discussion by a simple question. If you had to describe your job in one word, what would you say?
That's not easy, but yeah, I think what we do as architects is that we design, develop, and supervise also the construction of our architectural, hopefully high-quality architectural projects, while implementing all the urban rules, the context, the client's objectives, and also technical requirements or regulatory regulations that we have to follow, unfortunately.
All right. And Patricia, in the specific field of architectural design, how would you describe this?
Well, as consultant, I would say that I take the time to design a workspace that makes sense for people how they work today. So it means besides efficiency, we're talking about square meters or really performance. Actually, we look to inspiring space, comfortable space, well-being, all that put together makes sense to me.
Yeah. What's interesting is that from the outside, people often see the final result of the building or the architectural design, but not always everything that happens behind the scene to make it possible. So let's take a deeper look into that and what the job actually is in its day-to-day. If you could, Salah, explain a bit what's your daily task or what is your day-to-day job or task as an architect?
Actually, we do many different things. So starting with the design process, where we conceive projects of various typologies, different complexities, depending on the brief we get from the client, or in the case of a competition. So this is really like the most creative part of the work. And then after that, you have to develop that idea and to really make it concrete so that it can be built with technical details. You have to implement, and this is the work we do together with engineers and specialists, all the technical requirements and equipment. And then finally, of course, we follow and supervise the construction. And for me, this is always a very important part, and I always see it with pleasure when the idea we have is getting a reality, and you really see that what you thought would be good is becoming real.
Yeah, you see all this work becoming reality,
Yes.
not only on paper. That's rewarding. And Patricia, for you, what would you say as your typical day-to-day tasks in this job?
So working in parallel with architects and any other stakeholders related to the work environment, I would say that we take really the time to translate the business needs and people needs in workspaces. really helping teams to perform. And we guide and assist clients towards all those actions and to blending together strategy, design, and teamwork.
And so, what are the main responsibilities that come with your role today? I know, Sala, that you, of course, in the course of your career, it evolves a bit. So how did it change from when you started to now, as you, of course, evolved in your career in terms of responsibilities?
Yeah, that's quite of a change because as a young architect, I came into the office. There was a competition that had been won, and I jumped into that project. And I was part of the team first. And after that, of course, I got more responsibility because I got a team leader. And then as a partner, you get still some more responsibility and some even more as a managing partner. And in general, as an architect, you have a lot of responsibility. First, towards your client, towards the user of the building. We shape environment, and this is environment for many, many years. So that's a sort of heavy
That's
responsibility.
a heavy responsibility indeed. And for you, Patricia, what would you say are the main responsibility and how it evolved since the beginning of your career in Luxembourg?
Yes, yeah, that's a really interesting point because I was really on the field for many, many years. That's why I really know what the job is. But what I really like today and enjoy is jungle with many, many roles. It comes from a manager for sure, but really bringing people together, taking the best parts of any expert from our team. You probably really know all that, how it happens. Every day is different, but it's very, very actually those. It's even a psychologist role sometimes.
Yes.
That's really
That's
something
true.
you struggle with, but that's part of the job. You
With the
have to
client
accept
or
it.
with the team?
Yeah,
Or both?
Both.
both. No, rather more. I don't know, but it's kind of a big family.
So we talked about responsibilities, and if we talk about what are the main kind of problem or challenges that land on your desk?
Well, as we do very various things, that can be also various problems. So, starting with the discussion about the concept when it is not still working, how can we improve? But it can also be problems from the construction side coming to my desk, say, okay, there's a major problem. What can we do? Can be related to contracts, for instance. So it's very various problems that can occur in every job and also in our job. Yeah.
So, talking about problems, as we are more problem solvers, I would really structure the problems around two different acts. Related to the clients, it could be more related to a misalignment between what they would like to go for and the budget they would like to put, and or the means they would like to dedicate to it, to invest. Yes. And for more related to the team, the problem would be today really to balance well the time dedicated to the work or hybrid works or how collaboration is happening sometimes. I don't know how you feel it in your office, but
It's sometimes also that we have people coming from different cultures and different universities with their specific mindset and way to work. And of course, during the first phases when we conceive, that is sometimes good because you get different ideas, but it's sometimes also a problem because you have too many different ideas and you don't get to a real design that is really coherent in itself as a whole.
That's, I think, challenge that are faced, like different culture, already very familiar to the Luxembourg ecosystem. Also, that can
Yes.
be found in, I think, a lot of industries or professions.
For sure,
Indeed.
yeah.
So we talked about responsibilities, we talked about problems, challenges, and if maybe we can have a quick word on the boundaries or the limits, what you don't do in your role as architects in the development of a project. Where does it stop? Where does the responsibility of the architect stops?
Well, for instance, we don't calculate structures. This is something the engineer does. And this is a good example to say how important teamwork is within our team as architects, but also with the other people working on the project, like structural engineers, like technical engineers. So all these technical parts, we know how it works, basically, but we need these experts to do really the calculations, for instance.
So I would rather walk around the consulting or assistance we give to our clients. It means that as professional, we really guide, we give some structure, we accompany them, and but at a certain time, I always like to listen or give the advice to listen to them, and because the final business or operational decision are
with
theirs.
them. Yeah.
In any case, sure.
So now that we know a bit more about what are your role responsibilities and boundaries, let's go a bit more into the detail of what a typical day look like. What's your daily routine? What are the decisions that you find yourself repeating the most? How are you organized in your daily work? So.
But today, I'm mostly working in the office, working with the team, or having exchanges with the other experts or the clients of the projects. I don't do, unfortunately, any more supervising constructions because that was something I really liked to do as well, but it's not possible because I have now more work also on the managing side. So this is everything that is related to contracts, to human resource, all these more classical managing roles.
So from my side, I would really say first, every day needs to juggle with priorities, reevaluating it, really reorganizing all the stuff within the team or for clients' dedication. On an everyday basis, it's really first teamwork. It's work session with the team, with different stakeholders. Of course, I love to go and visit new sites, new projects,
always
constructions. Everything is evaluating so much. We were just discussing that a few minutes ago, related to the Kirchberg or closed door. I mean, it's really massive and exciting. So it's really in movement.
And so, do you have some time to go on site and visit some site? Sala was saying that she didn't have much time now to do this.
I try.
Can you find the time to do it?
I try to do it because it really makes a difference. I think it's giving so much value to the team when we visit together and we realize what has been accomplished. And really, also, what is just really satisfying is to see and understanding the client satisfaction, their face, what is going well. And sometimes we just have to jump into the boat when something's getting wrong, take decisions, and that's yes, I'm in movement a lot.
And so you talk a lot both about teamwork. So it's always working as a team in the office, or there are also some part where you have to be like more individually focused on something, or it's always really as a team? And
it's really mostly as a teamwork. Of course, there are some moments, when you worked very intensively with the team on the project and then you see the plans. And sometimes I like to have the plan in front of me and I have a quiet look on it and to see, is everything really right? Can we adjust? Can we make it better here and here? So that's few moments I like to take to see if we are really on the best way for the project. But most of the time it's teamwork.
Yeah, from my side as well, teamwork first. But this said, you're talking more about design or just artistic view. I'm rather more now around numbers, really. Budgeting, talking about square meters and all. It's not that fun, but it needs to be done.
It's very important.
We look at, that's really focus on efficiency. So for clients, so that's rather more linked to the consultancy work or tasks.
But this is a very important part, which people sometimes have the impression the architect does not look at budget or something, and that's completely wrong. Of course, we are working in an environment with objectives, and we have to keep the budget.
To
That's
cope with
very
that, for sure.
important. Yeah.
It is. It is. Find solutions, best options to make it happen, actually.
And so we talk about routine or daily task. And what does your job look like on a high pressure days, or what the most unpredictable part of your job?
The most unpredictable things comes often from the construction site, when you need to take a quick decision because there is a changement, or it comes from the client side when the client suddenly has new input or new demands. That can be really a challenge.
Change all the design done and all the work done. Yeah,
And
can
so
imagine.
I would say it's very important to be capable to take fast decisions, good or bad, but take the decision, have the means to make it happen. Besides that, and of course, when any urgent matter pop up, it's really the thing is
It's about
do it.
reactivity and be able to adapt to the new demand or the new situation.
Last minute requests, and you have
And
to.
that really changed over the years. In my feeling, everything is going now very fast, and also, as you said, decisions have to be taken very fast. And as I started as a young architect, we had more time to think over, and even on the construction side, there was less pressure of time. That has really changed a lot.
Yeah, and actually the tasks are demanding. We need time to make things properly. The processes are there. We really need to consolidate an offer or some numbers. Really, it's very important that we have the time. But most of the time, people are just asking, and really we are struggling with the time.
And
the
as we have
timeline constraints,
absolutely.
And we have growing complexity in the projects. So then you have really to pay attention if you take decisions that you consider everything when you decide.
Norms or regulation or anything, I guess, around that gets more complicated years over years. Yeah. And on what's for you? What does a good or a bad day looks like for you? What's a good day? What's a bad day for you in your profession?
I think a good day is when you get a feedback, a very positive feedback. And that is something I really like at the end of the day. Sometimes when a client comes and say, okay, that was a very good presentation, good project, or even coming from the team that they say, okay, we made it. It was fun to work on that. So that is very satisfying, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And when we have the time to sit down for a while, just celebrating a good deal or at the same time, success. But besides that, also potentially a family event around the team. That's very important to just take the time to do it and
to
celebrate
the team and the cohesion.
We are kind of a family. We spend so much time together. We cannot listen to everything. I mean, that's the wrong thing. But take the time to be together.
Take the time,
and share.
And on the opposite side, what's bad days look like?
Bad day, I would really say, is the day where you have too many unpredictable things coming in the same time.
Yeah, you bet. you totally bet on that. Really, I mean, that's and when most frustrated part is also when you're expecting documents or decision and they are not coming. So you're just stuck. Even if you want to run and do things properly, you don't have the means to do it. So that's really frustrating. But that happens.
And what is very bad also when you get the information that you lost a competition, because we do lots of competitions and that is really frustrating.
Yeah, I can imagine, yeah.
So waiting.
And now I'd like to cover in another section the skills and challenges required in your profession. So in your view, what are the one or two essential qualities someone needs in order to succeed as an architect today?
But besides what was always true, that you have to be creative and make a good conception of the project, I think today we are developing to a specialization within the profession. So young architects, I think, have to better feel which way they want to go. if they will rather be in the conceptual part of the work, if they will do perhaps more modeling or more the technical part, like also supervising the construction. So that I think there's more specialization, and you have to orient your skills on one of these fields.
Yes, I would add that you need to be high demand and looking for excellence, which is non-negotiable today. You have to be first and best. So we are working at CBRE. It's something easy to commit on. It's the right value, so it's respect, integrity, services, because we look for 5-star service, and then excellence. I mean, it's very easy. I find it easy to work on an everyday basis with those values, but it's really high demand. First for yourself, and then for the others or any other stakeholders, you can just go for it.
And so, what do you see are the biggest challenges that the profession is facing now today?
But like other professions, of course, we have the challenges of artificial intelligence that are present and where we have to deal with. And as architects, we really have to see how that will influence our work. We see it already partly today. You can generate super images of projects, but then we have to see, okay, can we build that one? How will it be organized? Does it fit the budget? And so on. So there will always be a need for architects, but the profession will probably change.
And is AI already used a lot at CBA Architect?
Not that much, but of course we try to see where we can improve our work with that. And I think that's the main objective, not to replace basically the architect, but to improve the work. And it will surely have an influence on how we work in the future.
Yeah, so it's in a testing phase as
Yes.
and ramping up as in a lot of companies.
Yes, we are also exploring IA, of course. But besides that, I would say the biggest challenge, it's really, like we were saying a few minutes ago, it's really everything needs to be so fast. So how can we take the time to make things properly and responding to expectations? Because as for any client, they think we just push on a button and things
Why
happen
is it
just like
taking
that.
so long making the design? Yeah, but there's a lot of reflection behind. It's just not just the line you draw.
Yeah. So that's a big challenge. That's what I feel today.
Is there any challenge around human resources or attracting talents in Luxembourg in the architect field, or is it something that is under control, let's say, with enough pool of talent coming in, or is it complicated?
But from our perspective, it's getting quite complicated because there are still architects coming in, but not that much than we used to have. And of course, we have the same problem as all the companies, but you have a high cost for housing, and that is obviously a problem to get new talents.
New talent, yeah. So now maybe we can discuss a bit about the future of the profession and how do you see it evolving over the next few years?
But there's for sure the fact that you have to handle complexity. You have that is what I said before. We have a lot of complexity in our project, and it will get more and more. We always have new rules, new regulations that we have to implement. We will have environmental issues. We have to see how we design according to climate change. And we also have to see, as I said before as well, what will AI have as an influence? And we have to pay attention that we will not be reduced to image makers. I think it is a challenge to be an architect in the whole sense, let's say, to really do the project from A to Z. And to keep that capacity will be a challenge as well.
And Patricia, how do you see the interior design consulting evolving over the next few years, let's say, in the future?
So more strategic than ever and focus on human beings, on people. As actually we used to design workspace just like this, but today it's really how people would like to work, how organization would like to work to be more efficient, and all that related to complexities such as comfort for technical comfort for some local regulations linked to local regulation, but rather more also in terms of well-being. So that really takes time to put some good options on the table.
And what do you think will most transform the way you work currently? Is it we talk about AI technology, or is it the new way of working, like hybrid or remote, or is it changing client expectation? Is it new regulation, or is it a bit of everything?
I think the climate will have an impact, but also how we live. So what we do at CBA is we do different projects. We do housing, we do office projects, we do public projects. And you see, of course, that society is evolving. There will be other needs. But for me, that is something that is classical development in the architecture, because if you see, before there were a lot of churches, we don't do them anymore. Now we do other typologies of buildings. So that for me is like, let's say, a normal evolution for architecture. But the climate impact, I think, will change also a little bit.
Is it something that you see in Luxembourg, I mean, which already being taken care of, or do you see any change already in the way we build building to adapt to climate change?
Yeah, we slightly see that we have to pay much more attention to how we make the rainwater collection, how we deal with this part of the projects. That can have more and more impact nowadays. Yeah.
And Patricia, for you, what will be the element that will most transform the way you work now in the future?
It's really how much we can involve any stakeholders that really are really part of the journey of creating workspace environment. So it means as well as IT technology, all the technology, because it's good to be open to hybrid works, but really need to have adequate technology to make it happen on a proper way and efficient way. So that's really how you put all those stakeholders, or HR talking about talents, how would they like to work tomorrow, and how that's
you
really
have much more stakeholders now for looking at the interior design of building that in the past, where it was
definitely.
Okay,
Definitely, we are open to that, and actually it makes the difference. We can just say it, accept it.
It's a lot of different point of view and idea to accommodate now, and not only the single perspective, let's say, or the management.
The capability to listen to others and other strengths also.
And also in terms of space, everything is evolving pretty fast. So what we try to do as architects is that when we shape the building, we try to make a structure that is more flexible, the most flexible possible, because we know, especially for offices, but even for housing, that we will need more flexibility, because people are living differently, and the changes are getting quicker and quicker.
And do you think that with all this evolution, there is a risk for the profession to lose something essential to the profession, or you don't see any risk?
As I said before, I think we will specialize even more than we are specialized today. And personally, I think that we should try to keep the capacity to work as an architect throughout the whole project.
Yeah, to have the overall understanding, and not
this is
too specialized.
Topic that is discussed quite some time already. And I think there is a little bit more pressure coming, but I think it's still
I'm cautious to have about being too much specialized and losing a bit. Then the
some do want it as well, but in my opinion, it is good that you can really have the broader and wider way to work as an architect. But
it's really the way how you make it happen today, rather than differently from the years before. But it's really having that teamwork again, having the whole different profile, acting together to make things happen. And I think architecture will
you will
remain,
always
for
need
sure.
ideas, and you will always need people that are experienced to build these ideas.
Artistic is part of your life also, huh?
Of course.
It's a big smile or big constraints, depending.
And so, what advice would you give to someone who wants to enter this profession today? what advice, what mindset do they need to have to start well, to stay motivated and keep growing on the long term in the profession? What advice to a young professional?
First, you need to have the passion to do this job. That will help you throughout the whole career. I think you need to be curious. You need to be able to adapt to new conditions, to new environments. I think that is quite important as well.
So curiosity. And for you, Patricia,
Yeah,
what are your advice to the young professionals in the field?
Curiosity and demanding really for yourself, really open mind and love people first.
Yes.
I think.
To be able to listen to them and to take
To understand
to care
them.
about their
To
needs
care,
and what they
definitely.
what they
Communicate
want.
with them throughout the whole process of the project.
Yeah.
So,
You cannot do it if you don't do.
So curiosity, communication, and commitment, if I understood correctly what you said.
No doubt.
All right. Thank you very much. Before we close this podcast, I would love to end on a slightly lighter note and having a series of closing questions where I would ask you to answer by a short 1 or 2 words, if possible. So in 1 word, how would you describe your job?
for me, it's actually not a job, it's a passion, as I said. Yeah.
So passion. All right.
It's a big game, or we play like a music player. We put all those talents and different tones together to have one nice harmony. Sometimes nice from one time to the other.
Hopefully nice.
Yeah, but I mean, today you can be open-minded, and it works pretty well that way.
All right. What is one thing that you truly love about what you do?
I would say 2. Creativity, of course, but also the variety of projects. I really like that. Yeah.
Looking for and finding smart solutions to make things right in the right way.
All right. And what is one part of the job that is difficult for you but is absolutely worth it?
If you have a very good idea, sometimes it's hard to convince the client that is the one and the very best for him as well. But if you make it to convince him, then it's really good.
So maybe like we have to deal with so many priorities and events or sudden events on an everyday basis. So how can we make it and suddenly everything just drop at the right place, and it's just a question of dealing with priorities.
All right. So thank you both very much for this conversation. It was a real pleasure to hear your perspective and to better understand the complexity of your work and also its human side, which was really important. You highlighted the importance of teamwork. Thank you very much for listening and see you in the next episode. Thank you.